This is my second night in New York. I did a few gigs in Los Angeles, but a lot of those we donated the money to the American Cancer Society. So this is better because I keep all the money. So, but we did raise thousands of dollars or hundreds of pounds, whichever way. What's it like being a third world country? Oh dear. I know what you're thinking straight away. Ricky Gervais, are you still doing stuff for charity? Shut up. No, don't. What? I do too much. No, I don't. What? How much did I raise for cancer alone last year? It doesn't matter. Why is it? What? Give us a ballpark figure. Millions. Millions. And they are welcome to it. But I will say this, if I ever get cancer myself, I'm going to walk into the nearest hospital and go, right, I paid for that machine. Get that little bald fucker off it. Talking of little bald fuckers, I did the teenage cancer gig last year. What? At the Royal Albert Hall. I did it before, I did it in 2006. But they called again last year. We're still ill. Okay, man. You lasted. No, it's a great gig. And the teenagers with cancer getting free and everything. That's the sort of guy I am. And they sit in the front row. Oh, lucky little... And they get to come backstage afterwards and meet me. What a treat that is for them. So much better than going to Disney World, where the rides can make you sick if you're in that state. So meeting me, it's thumbs up. So, and I was doing the gig this last time, and I looked down and I recognised one of them. I thought, oh yeah, he came backstage 2 years ago. He was telling me about his illness, and I signed some stuff for him, and he said, oh, he just turned 18 and how hard it was. And I was thinking, well, that was 2 years ago. So now he must be 20. So how the fuck is he still a teenager? Lying little shit. He wasn't lying about the cancer. He was riddled with it. It hurt him to laugh, but he shouldn't... So I was doing the gig, and he was laughing along, and I thought, yeah, you laugh it up, mate. I was fuming. And it got too much for me, and I went, all right, mate, I recognise you. He went, you came backstage 2 years ago. I went, yeah. You said you're 18. He went, yeah, so you're 20 now. He went, yeah. I said, get out. And I called security, and he struggled, but he was weak. They'd worked out, you could tell. Although they had trouble getting hold of him to start with, but then they got him and they pulled it. His drip nearly had someone's eye out. I went, get him out. The crowd started booing. I went, hear that? They don't want to see someone like you take the piss out of me. Off you go. Oh. Cheers, everyone. That's a big can, isn't it? I'm not showing off. I want you to know that is a big can, and I'm not a dwarf. Oh, I did a big charity gig last year for autism. And like most people, my only experience of autism until recently was Dustin Hoffman's brilliant portrayal in Rain Man. But I've just got this new house in London, and the neighbours were coming round and going, oh, yeah, hi, poking their noses in, basically. But I thought, you know, I'd be nice to them for now. When I get a big gate, they can fuck off. One couple, they've got an autistic son. And the mother was talking to me and said, oh, this is Douglas, he's 17, and he never goes out because he hasn't got any friends. So I thought, right, okay, this is where I can show him that, you know, I'm a rich, handsome man off the telly, but I've also got a heart of gold. And I said, oh, I'll take him out. I went, really? I went, yeah. So I went back on the Saturday, true, and she said, oh, he loves the zoo. And the zoo's only about a mile from my new house in Hampstead, I live. And so I'm walking along the street with Douglas, okay, and he doesn't take his eyes off his mum all the way along the street like that. And his mum's in the doorway, and she's waving to him, and she's crying, right? Eventually she shuts the door and she goes indoors. I hailed a cab and said, right, take us to the casino. So, you've got to make it work for you, haven't you? So, I signed him in He had a little suit on and everything. I thought, this is going to be brilliant, okay? I went straight to the blackjack table. That's their best one. I don't know why. They're brilliant at that. I went, okay, Dougie, you know the score. Bet 2 for good and 1 for bad. Do you understand? He went, yeah. I went, hoo. So I was betting. I was about £1,000 down in half an hour. And I went, sorry, hold on. Douglas, do that thing. Count the cards. Do that thing. Tell me when there's a good card coming. Tell me bet 2 for good. Do you understand? He went, yeah. So I was another £1,000 down. I thought, what sort of an autistic... So I was confused. I threw some toothpicks on the carpet. I said, how many? He went, I don't know. I said, there's 7. I can see there's 7 from here. Oh. Wow. Why did I get that one? So I took him back home and I said to the mother, there's been a mistake. He walks like Rain Man, but he's got none of that clever shit. I know it's wrong. But I don't want to talk about it, but I do an awful lot for charity. But I think some causes are more worthy than others. Joking aside, obviously cancer is a very worthy cause, autism's a very worthy cause. But I got asked to do a benefit gig recently for sufferers of obesity. What? She went, sufferers of obesity. I went, do you mean fat people? She went, no, because obesity is, well, she actually went, no, because she was eating. She went, no, just, between snacks, like, and she went, obesity is a disease. No, it's not, is it? You just like eating, don't you? No, it's not, is it? How is that a disease? Oh, I'm so fucking ill. I'm well ill. I'm well ill. Oh. I said, what's the disease? She went, everything tastes good. Everything? Yeah. Not salads. It's not a disease, is it? Leprosy is a disease. Can you imagine Jesus in the temple? People shuffling up to him in bandages going, Jesus, my face is falling off. I can't stop now. There's a fat chick on her 3rd pie. People say, they make excuses, don't they, fat people? They say, it's glandular. It's not glandular, it's greed, okay? It's big bones. Yeah, big bones covered in meat and gravy. They complain, and it's their own fault. Oh, I'm getting fat. Oh, look, I'm getting fat. Oh, aeroplane seats. They're not big enough for someone like me. No, they're not. Because if they were, we'd only get 12 fucking people on the plane. It's not fair. It is fair. That's what does it. And if we're talking about fairness and aeroplanes, why is it I get the same luggage allowance as a guy who's 400 pounds? We're both allowed to carry on 32 kilograms to the plane. I want to go, no, he used up his 32 kilograms on his tits. It's not a disease. I saw a documentary back in England about this woman who was 350 pounds because she ate 10 burger and fries a day. That'll do it. 10 separate meals of burger and fries. 10 separate trips to McDonald's, right? In a cab. Oh, didn't even walk that. Wasted calories, okay? So, to stop her eating these meals, they wired her jaw together. So she liquidized 10 burger and fries a day. Now she's on burger smoothies. Now she's not even chewing. That used up 3 calories. So lo and behold, she gets fatter. So they admitted her to have that thing done where you staple your stomach together. And she's sitting there in hospital, looking all depressed. Well, you can't eat for an hour before an operation, can you? Lank hair, smock. Christ knows where they got that, right? And she said, It's a really dangerous procedure, but it's the only option left. 1, jogging. You don't even walk. Right. Salad. You don't like the taste. 3, 9 burger and fries a day. It's a start, isn't it? It's a starter to her. Jesus. We have some fat people in Britain, but you, like everything else, are the gold medalists of that as well. Right? You'd win that in the Olympics. I saw this episode of Jerry Springer. It was called Jerry Springer Saves the World's Fattest Man. You've got to watch that. So he's there going, okay, let's try and save this guy's life. He's got a heart of gold as well. He's like me, right? So it cut to this guy at home in his house. They couldn't bring him to the studio. They had a camera crew there. And I say house, he was in a trailer, obviously. And he was. He was like a big blob on the bed. He sort of filled the trailer. He looked like an uncooked souffle. And you could just see like his eyes in this doughy mess. And he was going, I don't want to die, Jerry. I don't want to die. And I felt sorry for him. I got over that. And they said, how much do you weigh? And he weighed 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds. Now, my point is this. When he weighed himself one day and he was, say, 500 pounds, didn't he think then that was a lot? Didn't he go, that's a lot? For a human? For what is essentially a land mammal, that's a lot. I'm not having a go. I'm a little bit overweight myself. The other night someone shouted, no shit. I thought, it could be that. Wouldn't that be great? You go to the doctor, he goes, no, you're not overweight, you're just constipated. Woohoo! Start again. I'll tell you quickly, I had to go to the doctor for this tour, for this medical, I say tour, it's LA and New York, they're the main two, I didn't do the middle bit. Nothing wrong with the middle bit, if you're watching the DVD. I love the middle bit, I love the middle bit. I love all of America. I do. I do, I've got a film coming out. Now listen. No, I had to have a medical, and I've had medicals before for TV shows, and they check your pulse and go, fine, you're not going to die in the next 6 weeks, go ahead. But went along to Harley Street, and he said, oh, it's a bit more thorough than usual, because it's, you know, it's a high insurance risk, this big gig. So I went, fine, he said, we need a urine sample. I went, yeah, fine. So he gave me this little file, right, and I went to the toilet, filled that up, good as gold, gave it back to him, still warm. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, I know he's a doctor, it's wee, but when it's cold wee, it's sort of just chemical. But when it's warm wee, it's sort of biological. Do you know what I mean? It's from my body. That it's warm because of my body heat. Some of which is probably willy heat. Do you know what I mean? No, but it is. I'm not saying I've got a very hot penis, but it's the same. What I'm saying is, it started off as core temperature, but then had to go through the willy, which kept it warm, like a lagged pipe. And it was only a very short journey, so it lost... It's fine, it's average, I don't know. I don't know, doesn't matter. It's, I'm 5'8", it's in proportion. It's fine. It's fine. It is. Absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I've got nothing to compare it with. Mine is the only one I've seen. I haven't seen it for a while. Doesn't matter. steadily fatter and fatter again, and this time I am going to die. I'm losing my hair, it's getting really thin. I know it looks great from there, cheers, but no, honestly, in a lift, right, with that light directly overhead and the mirror, it looks like an X-ray, right? I'm gonna have to buzz that off soon. I'd never wear a wig. Oh my God. Guys, if you wear a wig or a toupee and you think you've got away with it, you haven't. Everyone knows. Everyone knows immediately. My brain knows a wig has come into the room before I do, right? I could be at a party or something and it'll go, there's a wig in here. I'll go, is there? Yes, there is. Yeah. Spidey senses for the wig. It's only the little bit of the way they smile at you like there's nothing wrong. Hiya. Telltale signs, isn't there? I was put off wigs for life, though, by my Uncle Reginald. A great bloke. He's dead now. Died a few years ago, right? I was only little, right? But he went bald in his 20s, tragically bald. I mean, he started going bald and his hair fell out. It might have been something. It might have been alopecia or something. I don't know. But he was bald for 10 years, into his 30s, right? Turns up one day at our house, Elvis. What is... like... And I remember I was about 8, and I said to Auntie Edna, what happened to Uncle Reginald's hair? And she went, it was a miracle. They were lying. They were just hushing. Everyone knew he was bald, right? But he'd embroiled his family in on the lie, so they had to lie as well. They're going, yeah, it just grew back. Yeah, it's amazing, right? And there's so many things he wouldn't do because he was terrified of the wig coming off, right? We weren't allowed balloons at parties, right? Auntie Edna said, yeah, Reg is allergic to balloons. He wasn't allergic to balloons. He was terrified one of us kids would rub one on our sweater, right? And his wig would fly across the room. We've got photos of him in the family album, right? And if he's at a wedding or a christening and he's holding a baby, he's always holding it at arm's length, like that. So he can't grab his wig. It must have been on his mind all the time, right? It was the only thing he feared, that wig coming off in public, and this ridiculous lie being exposed. He was in the army, he was hard as nails, wasn't scared of anyone or anything, spiders, snakes, roads, wasn't scared of cancer. How's the chemo going, Uncle? Not a problem. Right? We got a photo of him, the last year, I think. He was 75. Yeah, it must have been his last year he was alive, right? And it was a hot day, and he was in the garden in his little trunks, right? And he was a wizened little man by then, and white chest hair, jet black wig still. Died in it, buried in it. He's wearing it now. A little skeleton with jet black hair, right? Like Posh Spice for eternity, right? But I knew all that was going to happen. I knew I was going to get old and fat and ill and blind and deaf and shit myself and be pushed around in a fucking bucket, right? But you're ready for that because you're warned. You know everything about getting old, right? Well, one thing they don't talk about, and so you're not prepared, and it was a shock to me, right? I only found out about it recently, and I'm going to share it with you now. The distending testicles. I didn't see, you don't know about it, right? But it happens in your 50s, right? I wasn't checking them or anything, but I didn't see them for 20 years, right? But all I know is, as a young man, they were pert, and now they're like 2 plums in a sock, right? I don't know when it happened, but it was recently, right? They just, and this is how I found out, right? So as I've been getting older, and they've been secretly stretching away, right? As I've been getting older, I've been getting richer, so my baths have been getting more and more luxurious, right? And last year, I moved into a new house in Hampstead, right? I had a big bath, a big sunken bath. Oh, south-facing windows. I was in there, like, the first night. Like, oh, lovely bath. Sun streaming in, classical music on. I thought, this is the life. I looked down, and they're floating, right? Now, I'd never dreamt that testicles would float. They seem like they'd be heavy. Don't they? You could tie things down with them. They'd sit, do you know what I mean? And most people never see there. Like in the sea, you've got trunks on. In a shower, they dangle. And baths aren't usually that deep. And that was my first thought. Oh, my God, I never thought testicles would float, right? And then my second thought kicked in, which was, hold on, this bath's 2 feet deep, right? And I'm sitting on the bottom, and they're at the top. What is going on? Right? And I looked, and my testicles are now longer than my penis, right? Easily, by some way, right? In fact, they'd created like a little fleshy sort of life raft, right? My penis was dry, just nestled, just floating on top, like that, just bouncing around. I should have given it a little whistle. No, but I'm just looking at this thing, this is bizarre, fucking hell, right? And I thought maybe it's a fluke. So to test it, I held them under the water for a minute, and I let them go, and they bobbed up. They're really buoyant, right? So you try it when you get home, if you're in your 50s, right? And a man, obviously. Or Caitlyn Jenner. But the world is getting worse, and I blame the beginning of its demise on social media. Because Twitter and Facebook, that's where this ridiculous notion bred, right, and became stable, that it was more important to be popular than right, right? Everything was like me, agree with me. It falls into two tribes. Oh, I don't agree with them, so I'd block them, right? And now, in this post-truth era, people don't care about the argument. They don't look at the argument. They say, who's saying the argument? No, they're not on our side, right? It's ludicrous, okay? And it also bred this ridiculous notion, we've always had, my opinion is worth as much as your opinion. But now we've got my opinion is worth as much as your fact, which is nonsense. I get tweets from people saying, well, I believe the Earth is 6,000 years old. Well, I believe you're a fucking idiot then, right? You can't have an opinion on the age of the Earth, right? You can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts, right? But it was all about being popular, right? And even politicians picked up those symptoms. Politicians tweet now, they want to be popular. We had a referendum about Brexit because they were passing the buck. They didn't want to make a mistake. So, and the other thing is this ridiculous thing of, oh, let's ask the average person what they think. Let's stop asking the average person what they... Do you know how fucking stupid the average person is? We still sell bottles of bleach with big labels on that say, do not drink, right? Let's take those labels off, right? For 2 years, and then have a referendum. But it's not just politicians, even real news. The news on TV says things like, well, tweet us your news. No, don't let them tweet you the news. I saw Tyrannosaurus Rex, you liar, right? There was a big news story last year, right? It was about a terrible train crash. Now, the train crash had happened about a year before, and there was a big inquiry. And the results of the inquiry were published this day, and so there was an expert on the news, and he was saying, well, we've looked at everything, and we've decided that the speed of the trains on this particular line were a contributing factor to the accident, so we're going to slow them down a little bit, and statistically speaking, this should never happen again, right? That should have been the end of it. But the guy went, wow, we went out and asked the general public what they thought. So then there was 3 banal vox pops. The first one said, well, I already pay £960 a year, so I'm not happy, right? And the next one said, well, it takes me 45 minutes each way, so it's not good enough, right? And the last one said, well, I always say, it's better to arrive at work late than dead. Why is that on the news? And when is that applicable in any situation? You know what I mean? You go, all right, Ted, you're in early. Ted? Oh, Ted. We've been through this. Remember I said I'd rather you arrive late than dead? But the big enemy is stupidity, right? I want to share with you the most stupid tweet I ever got, I think. All right. Now, admittedly, when I first got on Twitter, I pushed my agenda a little bit. I was an outspoken atheist, not because I thought I'd change anyone's opinions, but because I thought it was important to tell the other side, you know. There's still 13 countries where people are put to death just for being an atheist, and there's people bullied, and I just wanted to say, it's fine to be an atheist, it's fine to believe in God, and it's fine not to. That's all I was saying, really. And Then I realised I didn't even have to tweet about religion or atheism. I could just tweet a fact, and that annoyed just the right people, right? I tweet things like, happy birthday, Earth, 4.6 billion years old today. And someone would always go, oh, we know what you're fucking doing, we know what you're doing, right? So, this is a tweet I got from someone after one of those, I assume, right? And it was all in capitals, which excited me. That's the sign of Twitter madness, mixed with anger. It's great, right? And I looked at his profile, and sure enough, he's a gentleman from Texas. He's a fundamentalist, creationist Christian, right? Which is fine. He loves God. He loves God and fetuses, mainly. He loves the fetus from conception to when it turns out gay. And then he's... Right, so remember it's all in capitals. He's shouting at me, right? Best tweet ever, right? Your science, my science, right? Science, by the way, is spelled S-C-I-E-N-T-S. Already good, isn't it? I mean, he's obviously heard the word. He took a guess. Never seen it written down, because it's not in the Bible. So he's... Your science won't help you. Well, it will. It's helping him beam this little message up to a satellite and down to me. Your science won't help you when Satan... Of course he believes in Satan. Why wouldn't he? He believes that God made the universe in 6 days. You're not going to say to him, do you believe in Satan? And he's going to say, bit far-fetched. Why doesn't God kill Satan? That's what I'd ask him. If I was wrong and I met God and I go, oh, you do exist. He'd go, yeah. I go, well, in which case, I've got a few fucking questions, mate. In fact, the first one would be, why did you make chocolate kill dogs? What's... mental. Also, if you hate homosexuality so much, why did you put the male G-spot up the arse? What is wrong with you? Then I'd say, why don't you kill Satan? And he'd go, what? I go, why don't you kill Satan? If he does all the bad stuff and you do all the good stuff, yeah, and you want good stuff, yes, yeah. I mean, you do want, yes, yeah. And you could kill him, couldn't you, if you wanted? Yes, because you can do anything easy, yeah. Why don't you kill him then? Because... Shut up. Your science won't help you when Satan is raping your British ass. And he's got a point. Because if I die and I find myself in hell being raped by Satan, science has pretty much let me down. But it's this last line that he just throws away. This line that he signs off with makes this the best tweet I've ever received, right? Your science won't help you when Satan is raping your British ass. I'll be laughing. So, he's there too. So he's a fundamentalist Christian who's lived his life by the Old and New Testament. He dies, he wakes up in hell, right? Which must be off the charts on the scale of emotional trauma for a Christian. You want to go, oh my God, I'm in hell. Oh my God, why have you forsaken me? I'm in hell, it's the worst place. No, it's for eternity. I'm going to be tortured for eternity. Sees me getting raped, goes, What, he's suddenly over it, is he? His days suddenly got a little bit brighter, right? And like he's not next, right? So he says, I'm getting raped, right, by the devil, right? And he's just there, you fucking atheist scum, right? And I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? Because I mean, I assume it happens it's like an eternity, so I'm, yeah, whatever, go on your fear. I might say, watch your hooves on my testicles, you know? And then the head lawyer, he was about 60 years old, he had like white hair. He went, oh, yes, there was one thing. Now, I did this joke, I don't know if you remember. It went, the world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And it goes on, at one point I go, but Dame Judi Dench said it was the role she was born to play because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her back leg and licking her own minge, right? So, this lawyer went, he said, this is all true, by the way. He went, when you say James Corden is a fat pussy, that's just referring to his role in Cats, right? I went, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Nah. And he went, OK, great. I thought, this is easy. I wanted to go, call yourself a lawyer, right? And that was it. And I went, have a great show. And I left. And as I was leaving, I saw one of the other lawyers lean in and show this head lawyer his iPhone. And the head lawyer went, oh, yeah. He went, oh, sorry, Ricky, can you come back a minute? Right, so I'm there. I went, yeah. So he had the phone there. They'd looked up the word minge. I thought I'd gotten away with it, right? So it's now like I'm getting told off. And the head lawyer said, now it says here that the word minge is a derogatory term for female genitalia. I went, well, yeah, it's a slang word for vagina in England. You don't even use it here, do you? He went, no, we don't, but we go around the world, and with due diligence, now we know it's derogatory, we'll have to bleep that word live. I went, don't bleep the word, like, because people at home won't know what I've said. It'll ruin I said, it's literally the punchline. He said, if it's derogatory, I have to... I said, well, what word could I use that you wouldn't bleep? And he went, well, you could say vagina. I went, I'm not saying vagina, right? Nothing funny about it. It's so clinical. I was thinking, Judi Dench at home going, why is he talking about my actual vagina? This last time, they said, oh, you've got to see the lawyer the day before now. I went, OK, great. So I was driven to the Beverly Hills Centre, and they're all setting up, right? And the photos of the A-listers are all in their chairs. I go, oh, there's Brad, there's Leo, there's Bob, oh, this one. And this big guard showed me to this room, and he opened the door, and he shut it behind me, and I looked, and there were suddenly 10 lawyers in suits. It was usually like this middle-aged woman in a jumper, right? And I thought, what the fuck's happened? I think, oh, is it because it's my last time and they're just making sure I don't say anything? Right? And they were there, and I went, hi. They went, hi. I said, shall I do the monologue? They went, please. Tough crowd, right? So I had the monologue, right? And I was sort of going through, it was like 7 or 8 minutes long. So I was doing the jokes, and after each joke, I sort of looked up, and they were sort of going, making notes like that. A couple of the younger ones were going... like that, right? It's not so specific, because vagina's so... Where's your vagina? There, right? Where's your minge? There. It's like... Then one of the younger lawyers went, what about box? I went, I'm not fucking saying box, mate, right? So imagine looking at her own box, right? I said, minge is perfect. I said, people won't know what... If they're American, they won't know it. I said, it's not offensive. It's like... I said, kids use the word in England. Right? They weren't having it. So I said, what about flange? Right? So they looked up the word flange, right? And he went, well, that'd just be confusing, because in America, a flange is a part of a sink unit. I went, oh, well, I said, please let me say minge and don't bleep it. I was really rooting for minge. Right? It was like 12 Angry Men. I go, no one's leaving till I can say minge. Right? And after about 10 minutes, I wore them down. Whatever they said, that won't work. So I was going, please. I said, I'll write them. You won't get any complaints and all this sort of... And eventually, the head lawyer went, OK, you can say minge. I went, and you won't bleep it. He went, no, we won't bleep it. I went, you promise? He went, yes. And I left. I knew they would. And they fucking did, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. The most frequently asked question I get about the Golden Globes is always... Story, I was 7 years old, right? And I'd been playing in the park, and I came running in, and my mum went, Ricky, come here, sit down.
There must have been a local pedo incident, right? And my mum went, never go in the toilets in the park again. And I went, why? She knew she couldn't explain paedophilia to a 7-year-old, right? But this is what she came up with. She said, because there's a man going round and he's cutting little boys' willies off. I was like, oh, what? That's a fucking thing, is it? That's a... I didn't sleep for a week. And it worked. I never went in those fucking toilets again. But she knew instinctively. If she'd have gone, Ricky, come in, sit down. What's the matter? Never go in the toilets again. Why not? There's a paedophile. What's a paedophile? Oh, he's a man who gives you sweets and puppies. Bring it on, you know what I mean? At 7 years old, I'd wank off anyone for a puppy. I'd be like that, wouldn't it? Be like that. Gonna get a puppy here. I'm getting a puppy. I'm getting a puppy. Gonna get a puppy here. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I cannot do it left-handed at all. Fucking hell, come on. Have you been drinking? Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. Fucking hell. Oh. I've started, so I'll finish. Oh, fuck me. Oh, what sort of puppy is it? A what? A Labrador? Throw in a kitten, I'll give you a blowjob. I'll go over that again, because you probably don't notice it as much as comedians, but we've had a really weird 10 years where we're really second-guessing, going, is that okay? I don't know what they're... People could find anything offensive, but we pushed back and we won, so fuck them. Until the next time. They haven't gone away, they're just licking their wounds. They'll be back with something madder, and... but remember who it is next time, right? It's always like these sort of educated, middle-class, privileged, elitist sort of people telling ordinary working-class people what they can and can't do and say and laugh, not realising how important comedy is to ordinary people. Like, when I was a kid growing up in Reading with nothing, right, humour was like a lifesaver. It was like a superpower, right? Not a real one, like flight, but you know what I mean? It's like, you ask anyone their superpower. I reckon 7 out of 10 will say flight, and 3 will go super strength or something, right? Which is great. If you're a superhero, flying around, being super strong, great. But sooner or later, a super villain will go, look at that cunt. I'm gonna get him and murder him, right? My superpower, they wouldn't even know it was me doing it. They wouldn't even know there was a superpower being used. And it would get you out of any situation. My superpower would be the ability to make anyone instantly shit themselves. Think of it. You're getting mugged at knife point. They go, give me your wallet. You just go, they go, fuck. Oh, fuck. That's another thing I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, in almost 64 years, I have never shat myself once. So, no, don't... No. No! Right. Yeah. Oh, why do you like London so much, Rick? Because you get a round of applause for not shitting yourself. Right. But that's the next phase now, eh? I reckon it's the next 10 years that I will. But as of now, my arsehole has never let me down. Very underrated, the human arsehole. Everyone goes, oh, the human brain, the greatest computer known to man. All the human liver can regenerate itself. Your arsehole is working 24/7. Even when you're asleep, it's like that. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. You're not coming out. No. You're not coming out. And you're not coming in. Oh. Because it's like a sewer in there, isn't it? But you've got a lovely little manhole cover. Think of that in real life. Walking along a pavement, it's lovely pavement. If that burst, and you know what's in a sewer, don't you? Piss and shit and cum and dead goldfish, and fetuses. In China, just the girl ones. Relax. Just oh, fuck, I'm back. You know what I mean? They can transplant every organ now. Whatever's got... Transplant every organ. Not your brain. That wouldn't make sense. You are your brain. So that would be an everything else transplant, wouldn't it? But I'd sign up for that. I don't care about this. It's to get this round. If I could leave £1 million to science, so when I died, suppose when I died, my body's crushed, killed instantly, but my head's intact. They keep that on ice, wait for a body donor. Some poor bloke gets his head crushed, put my head on his body, and I'm back. I know. Statistically, I will get a bigger penis as well, so... the odds are in my favour there, trust me. I wake up in the future, I see the scar, and I go, oh, that's all right. You know what I mean? I go, oh, you've always wanted a big knob? I go, yeah, I've always wanted a big knob. I go, let's have a little bit of me time, shall we? And I start, but then every time I look down, I go, oh, that's not my knob. Do you know what I mean? I go, oh, that's not my knob. Oh, that's not my knob. It's not my hand either, carry on. It's like, you know what I mean? I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So it wasn't about death, it was about life. And some people are so worried about dying, they forget to live. And some people are so scared to do something. Oh, no, that's dangerous, that's dangerous. All the most fun things are dangerous. Roads are dangerous. Alcohol is dangerous. Alcohol is a poison. I should know. I sell it. Dutch barn, right? So, yes, right. Alcohol gives you brain disease, liver disease, kidney disease, heart disease, mental illness, but it does loosen you up at parties. So, think of all the babies born through alcohol, yeah. Many of them deformed if the mother carried on drinking. But the good thing about being born deformed is, you... Hear me out. The good thing about being born deformed is you can start drinking at a much younger age and no one gives you... Do you know what I mean? You see a normal kid drinking, you go, you little bastard. You see a deformed kid drinking, you go, yeah, go on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You're 8 or 9, you've had 27 painful operations, you've met Ollie Murs, have a drink, you know. Well... I did look at one other film briefly, Titanic. Right? And it's got all the same sort of questions. And the one where it goes, are any animals harmed? Someone answers, there were no explicit scenes of animals being harmed, but Rose did have a goldfish, which probably didn't make it. I think the goldfish in the bowl on the sideboard when the boat hits the iceberg, and he's all like that, right? And people are running around going, we're going in the water. And he's all smug then, and he's going, don't worry about it. Oh, no, not water. Oh, then he gets in the sea and he goes, oh, it's very salty, isn't it? It's very salty. I'll leave you with a true story. It's still on the theme of Does the Dog Die? When I was 7 years old, my mum took me to the cinema to see a film called Old Yeller. Beautiful film, yeah, made in the late 50s and sort of set in the Wild West on this homestead. And it's about a kid who adopts this little junkyard dog and he calls him Old Yeller and they grow up together. And it's a buddy movie. It's a love story between this kid and this dog. And eventually, when the dog's big and, you know, he protects this kid in the wild, he fights a cougar and a bear and a wolf or whatever. But towards the end of the film, the kid's about 13, maybe. It takes a dark turn. I remember the kid sort of looking at Old Yeller, who's locked in the barn, and the mother's suspicious, right? And she goes, is it Old Yeller all right? He went, yeah, he's fine. But the kid knows that he's been bitten, right? And soon, Old Yeller starts foaming at the mouth and, getting aggressive. And the mother turns up with a gun, and the kid goes, no. And she goes, you know we've got to do it, boy. He goes, yeah, but he's my dog. I'll do it. And he shoots his own dog. And I was like in floods for like a year, right? Anyway, fast forward, right, a few years ago, I was on tour, I was on a train, and I get a text from Jane, and she says, oh, I'm finally watching Old Yeller. And I sent back, oh, enjoy, right? I didn't think, right? 20 minutes later, I get a text, nothing happens to that dog, does it? Oh, I couldn't believe my fucking luck. I thought she knew, or... So I sent back, no, of course not. 1 hour later, I get a text, you cunt. cool. And then they always leave it right to the end. They don't even look up. They go, and can I give you a rectal exam? Which means I have to go, yes, please. I want to surprise me on the way out. Do you know what I mean? Bye, bye. Oh, and that's fine. Thank you, right? But there's a big build-up, right? And as they're washing their hands, they've got to say, would you like a chaperone? No. So you're going to have your finger up my arse, and now you've got a mate watching? No, just do it. And they lay you on this bench, right, on your back to start with, like pants and trousers round your ankle, knees apart like a little frog, right? And they do the balls first, right? And I'm nervous at a doctor. I'm really nervous, so I've got no balls, right? He has to dig them out like a tortoise's head, you know what I mean? It's just like a little fist of fear down there, right? And I fucking hate it. I go, like that, right? It's horrible, right? And then when they turn you on the side and lube you up, go the finger up the arse, that's great, you know. Not great, that's not why I go, but it's... me again, you were here yesterday. I should say I'm not a doctor, right? I do see a doctor once a year or once every 2 years after I've medicals for things like this and TV shows, and I go private, right? It's 600 quid. It's 3 hours long, but they do everything. Blood sample, stool sample, urine sample, ECG, ear, nose, throat, bollocks, the finger, everything, right? And you have to fill out this big form, right, a lifestyle thing. That takes fucking ages, right? And I tell the truth on everything, except units of alcohol. I work those out, then I halve them, right? And when he gets to those, he still goes, oh, that's an awful lot, right? And I think I've won. I go, is it? And at the end of the 3 hours, they've got all the results back from the lab, right? And he's got this big computer, it's like a body composition, right? And from there, they work out your percentage chance of a stroke, heart attack in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And mine's always about the same. It always gets worse with age, nothing you do about that. But I'm always like, I'm at the end of healthy weight. I'm just nearly obese. I'm just right, oh, like that. I was pre-diabetic once. I had to sort that out. And now I'm pre-gout, right? Pre-gout, right? And so he tells you all that, and then he goes, so what are we going to do about this? And I want to go, what do you mean, we? I've just paid you 600 quid, mate, right? You're going to fix it, and I'm going to carry on, right? You don't take a car to the garage and he goes, oh, tyres are bald, the big end's gone. What are we going to do? You're going to fix it, mate, and I'm going to pay you. He went once and said, you need more fibre in your diet. I went to go, get me wine with fibre in it then. You know what I mean? I can afford anything. You must be able to invent that. Just no. He said, you're heavily constipated. I wanted to go, get in there with a spoon, son. But this one time, it was an old man, and it was still a doctor, not just an old man. Doctor said he couldn't make it, so I thought I'd have a go, right? There was a sort of like old school GP, he was about 75, little shirt and tie, tweed jacket, right? And he was sitting on an armchair, right? And he didn't put me on the bench, I was just standing up. And he went, oh, just pop your pants and trousers down, right? So he was a little like that, so he was like head height to my balls, right? And as I say, I'm nervous, doctor, so I jabber, I talk. I think if I put them off, they won't find the cancer. You know what I mean? Right? And so he started doing the balls, and I just went, oh, what are you looking for there exactly, right? And they usually go, shh, like that, and they come. And he didn't, he went, oh, that's a good question. And he sat back, and he started telling me all about cancer, right? So now I'm just having a chat, right? And he went on for ages, he was loving it, right? And I remember it felt rude to do that. So I was going, all right, right. But I burnt it off the next day. Just so I could do all that, I worked out for an hour and a half every day, running, weight training. I had more time on my hands than the average person. I had a gym built in my house. I had no excuse. And I lost about 20 pounds, and it was great. But now, I still eat and drink too much, right? But I physically can't burn off the calories. I can't do enough because I'm so old and broken and tired. So I'm going to get steadily fatter and fatter again. And this time, I am going to die. I'm losing my hair. It's getting really thin. I know it looks great from there. Cheers. But No, honestly, in a lift, right, with that light directly overhead and the mirror, it looks like an X-ray, right? No ghosts. Have you seen all the ghost hunter shows? Oh, my God, hundreds of ghost hunter shows. Years and years. Celebrity ghost hunter. All around the world. Thousands and thousands of hours of footage. They've never seen a fucking ghost. Not what. It's all like, oh, what was that? Was it that I was just a... No, not the... Oh, did you hear that? Was it just... Oh, was it you? Oh, no. Imagine if wildlife programmes were like that. Imagine watching David Attenborough all these years, and everybody goes, here, on Kilimanjaro, we see the... Oh, that's not... And by the banks of the Limpopo, the elusive... Oh, that's not... You'd stop watching the cunt. I've never seen a ghost. The pedo hunter shows, on the other hand... There's usually a couple in the crew, just in case, I mean... Particularly if it's a BBC production. Oh, fuck, I didn't die. Right? Got to do it all again. I'm usually hungover, headache, liver pains. I can't walk for the first 5 minutes because I've got no joints in the knees, right? I'm getting fat again now, right? Now, I was thin till I was about 28, like proper skinny, like 9.5 stone, right? Then I got a job, right? And the next sort of 20 years were what I call my eating years, right? And I just got steadily fatter and fatter till I reached a peak of unwellness and blobbiness when I was about 48 years old. And it was one Christmas, I was at home, lying on the floor, right? And I was saying to Jane, I'm having a heart attack, right? And honestly, my heart rate was like 130. I felt nauseous. I was palpitations. I was sweating because I'd eaten 11 sausages. True story, right? I was like one of them snakes. You know when you see a big, like, python swallow a pig whole, and then it's just fucked. It's just like, for a week, it's like a duffel bag, just there. That was me, right? And obviously I wasn't having a heart attack, but it worried Jane. She said, you've got to start looking after yourself. I thought, yeah, you're right, 48. So I started working out, right? I started working out every single day. I didn't give anything up, right? I don't eat meat anymore, but I was having like 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories. A human baby, oh my God, the responsibility of a human life. I'd watch it sleep. You know, we've said how weak and vulnerable they are. It's like, oh my God, you perfect little thing. You, oh, flesh of my flesh. Go to sleep in your expensive cot. Oh, night, night, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs... Oh. Dead. Yeah. Just... Why? Why is it dead? It's just fucking dead, look. Fuck's sake. Fucking hell. What a fucking waste of time that was. Fuck's sake. Embarrassing. Jane? What? Come here. I'm in the shower. Come here. What? Fucking dead already. I just fucking hell, Jane. You call that a baby? That is... If Jane was out, I'd have to text her, wouldn't I? What could you... Baby's dead. She'd come back, whoop, what the fuck? I'd go, yep. Forget the Pampers, lol. No, but even if it made it through the terrifying cot years, right? And then it was a toddler running around head height to my antique tables with their sharp edges. I'd have to pad them so it didn't run into it and fucking cave its head in and die. And then the social services come round. They say, is this your child, Miss Gervais? And I go, yeah. And they go, what happened here then? I go, it's a fucking idiot. I did think of adopting. Like, doctors get in trouble for saying to someone, you're overweight or obese. They go, no, that's a political thing. No, it's like fat shaming. It's not fat. You don't get cancer shaming. He's trying to save your life, right? There was a school that tried to ban the word obese because they said it was derogatory to, I don't know what to call them, round children, right? But that's the polite word. That's the word we invented, so we didn't say fat little fucker. Don't keep changing words because one person gets offended. Also, fat people aren't offended by the word obese. They did it all. They're happy with it. They're jolly, aren't they? They're jolly. You know, you see a fat person go, all right, fatty. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah. And they go to the doctor, come in. Doctor goes, fuck me. Oh. Am I obese? No, you're morbidly obese. What does that mean? Means you're going to die of it. Oh, does it? All right. What, straight away or...? No. You've got diabetes, so you're having your legs amputated soon. And then if you carry on, you'll die later of, like, stroke and respiratory, heart failure, so... All right. Is there anything I can do? Oh, yeah, of course there is. You could start working out and eat healthy, you'll be right as rain. Oh, right. But you won't, will you? No. And I feel sorry for them, even though it's their fault. When you see one of those documentaries on telly, like the 600-pound man or something, and he's being winched out of his house to go to hospital, right? If you're dangling from a crane, right? Or rather, I don't worry about being dead, because I won't know about it. That is the best thing about being dead. You don't know about it. It's the same as being stupid, right? It's only painful for others, right? I worry about how I die. I don't want to die alone in agony, or I don't want to be found in a wardrobe hanging by a belt wearing ladies' tights covered in amyl nitrate. You know what I mean? I'm not into that shit. So if I am found like that, just know that one of my mates has stitched me up, right? No, I don't worry about dying. I don't do anything towards not dying, if you know what I mean. I eat and drink too much every day. I've done for 40 years. Day and night, I eat and drink too much. People say to me, Rick, if you gave up the booze, you'd live an extra 10 years. And I go, yeah, but they're the last 10 years. They're the shit 10 years. I don't want them, right? If I gave up booze now and I made it to 80, and someone said, right, you can have an extra 10 years. If I could go, oh, great, I'll have 20 to 30 again, that'd be perfect. But no, you've got to have 80 to 90. Have you any idea how awful it is being 90, right? I've seen 90-year-olds sitting in an armchair and they suddenly go, ugh, and you go, what? You go, I've broken every bone in my body, right? Because they're brittle. They've got, like, dust for blood. They bruise up, blood clots. They got hernias popping out everywhere, right? If you're 90 years old and you get to the kitchen by yourself to make a cup of tea, if you lift that kettle when it's too full, there's a very good chance your stomach will come out of your arsehole, right? So eat and drink as much as you want and just fucking... People annoy me the most. Oh, I say this once a day as well. I go, there's always someone who fucking ruins it. Do you know? Like, what? We were on a flight to San Francisco a while ago, me and Jane, right? We took off, right? First class, seatbelt signs, ding, drinks are served, lovely. Then this woman, about 2 rows back, she gets out her laptop, she starts banging out something really important. She's wearing fucking bangles. They're like smashing a... It's driving me... It sounded like fucking Morris dancing, right? It was driving me... But I know it's not illegal, you know, I can't go over bangle police, so I just have to suffer in silence and hope we crash. That is how I get over things now. If someone's really annoying me, I just sort of stare at them and I just imagine us both dead one day. And it's sort of... You know, like here I was thinking, oh, imagine the pilot going, oh, we're going to... The plane was going down, right, we're going to die. And I look over it and she's going, ah, and I go, and then the plane just smashes into a mountain and we're all fucking burnt. But I live 1 second long enough just to look over and see her totally fucked. Whatever gets you through, you know? So we got to San Francisco and we went on a little day trip. We went to this place. I say this once a day. I go, why don't things just fucking work? Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, the remote control for the TV, working fine. Go back to it. What's happened in the last fucking 10 seconds? What? The phone signal where I live in Hampstead is shit. I walk around the mansion going, can you hear me now? And if you make a phone call in the lovely cobbled streets of Hampstead, you can have 5 bars, having a chat, lovely. Well, you go one step in the wrong direction. Do you know why the phone signal's so shit in Hampstead? Because everyone's posh there. And no one wants one of those pylons in their garden, because they look shit and give you cancer. But I've said to the council, let's find a blind person who's already got cancer. Put it in their garden. Don't even fucking tell them. Don't even... We're walking around sightseeing, but about 11 a.m, because of the jet lag, we were starving. We thought, oh, we need lunch. So we found this restaurant that was open at 11 a.m, empty, of course, which is my idea of a perfect restaurant, empty, right? We sat by the window. We were looking out over the bay. There was a sea lion bobbing round. A pelican landed. The waiter brings our food. Then suddenly, in all that peace and perfection, out of the kitchen doors comes a busboy, and he just stands in this empty restaurant, and he goes... I looked at him, I looked at Jane. Jane didn't even look up. She just went, nothing we can do. Like that. So I'm all alone, right? And the sweat starts. I just get a sweat, right? I go, okay, he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. Sure enough, I bang my fork against the plate and I just look at him like that. And Jane goes, he doesn't know why you're staring at him. I go, I want him to know. I want to go, you okay? I go, not really. You know, you keep doing that, right? Jane goes, for heaven's sake, he's a busboy. He's at work. Let's just eat and go. So meal ruined, right? And I wasn't allowed to do anything, right? So this is how I got through the last 10 minutes of that meal. It's absolutely true, right? I'm eating. Every time he went, I went, cunt! That is what you get. That is what you get. Go, I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat, and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them, and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore, and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads, is it? Just, come on, lads. Come on, lads. If I go down there one day and there's no boat, I am absolutely fucking gutted. I just sort of wander into town, and I stand by the traffic lights, and I wait for a big lorry to pull up, right? And I look underneath, and there's a lad sort of clutching like that. And I go, where you headed? And he goes, Gary Lineker's house. I go, it's just down there. Yeah. Fuck borders. Fuck, we don't need borders, do we? Be like the Vikings. They didn't care about borders, did they? I've got a little bit of Viking blood in me. Well, we all have, because of all the raping they did. They say it was raping and pillaging, but I think it was mainly for the raping. I think they added the pillaging bit for the wives. I mean, they went down one day and went, right, we're off to Great Britain. Oh, why? Just a bit of pillaging. Just pillaging. Just pillaging, babe. All right. Why are you wearing your rape hat? For a little while longer? We can criticise the government, we can criticise the police, but we should give props to a country that allows us to do that, because we're the envy of some countries. In some countries, you criticise the police, you get beaten up, or worse. You criticise the government, you can be thrown in jail for life, you know. So they flee their oppression, quite rightly. You know, so would you. They flee their oppression, and they come here, they go, we want to come to England. We go, why? They go, free speech. We go, come on in, welcome. What are you going to do now? We're going to go on a march. What are you going to say? How shit England is. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. That is their right. But I'm too old now not to say what I want, you know. I want to say and do what I want all the time. I want to do my favourite thing all the time. I don't even like doing my second favourite thing if I think I could be doing my favourite thing. Do you know what I mean? Like my favourite thing is play tennis. I play every Friday. I keep Fridays free. I look forward to it. I play tennis. It sets me up for the week. So if ever on a Friday I have to do my second favourite thing, like 3 weeks ago, attend a neighbour's kid's funeral, I'm like, this is boring. But we all want respect, right? We all want respect, and I promised you more about China, and this is an amazing statistic, okay? This is true, look it up, right? In China, there are 10 million Chinese paedophiles. 10 million Chinese paedophiles in China, and there's not enough kids. Because they've been restricting the birth. There's all these poor pedos, and they're going, where's all the fucking kids? Like, you know, fuck me, we're having to double up here, and... I just thought of a joke then, I can't do it. It is actually too offensive. Okay, all right, I'll do it. But remember, you can't choose your own thoughts, okay? And I just had this thought, right? Chinese paedophile. Goes up to a little Chinese kid, and he goes, do you want a puppy? And the kid goes, I'm not hungry. You made me do that. You committed the hate crime. I'm woke, I forgot. Let me get back on track, right. Right, I've got a woke joke, right? You remember those jokes we used to have when we were kids, like doctor jokes, like, doctor, I keep thinking I'm a pair of curtains. Well, pull yourself together then, right? I've done a woke version of that, brought it up to today's standards, right? So, bloke goes to the doctor. He goes, doctor, I keep thinking I'm a pair of curtains. And the doctor goes, well, you are then. I'm at that age now as well, because I'm in entertainment. People say, oh, you can have a facelift. I go, no. Have you seen facelifts? They're still just that. Like that, you know what I mean? You go to the doctor, and the doctor goes, do you want to look old or Chinese? You know, it's like, nothing wrong with looking Chinese if you're Chinese. If you're not Chinese, it's a bit weird. It's offensive. Why is that allowed? You're not allowed to black up. Why can you do that? Maybe there are terms and conditions to make sure you're never that racist. Like the doctor goes, right, we've done the eyes, but never leave the house in a little lampshade, because... Oh, so childish. It's so childish. But whatever happens, someone always goes, oh, was it a hate crime? Why? Makes it so much worse. Does it? Why? If I was just walking home tonight and someone randomly jumped me, beat me up, mugged me, stabbed me, threw acid in my face, I wake up in intensive care, beep, beep, beep. I open my eyes through the bandages. There's a policeman. He goes, Miss Gervais? I go, yeah. He goes, we just want to let you know it wasn't a hate crime. I go, oh, thank God for that. Pretty hateful, isn't it? But no, a hate crime is something that's based on your race, disability, sexuality. So a guy with a gun, he wants to kill someone at random. He sees a crowd, he goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, bang, kills someone dead. He goes to court. The judge goes, why did you kill that person? He goes, no reason. The judge goes, so you're not a bigot? He goes, oh no. The judge goes, ah. 10 years. Some other guy's got a gun, he goes, I fucking hate dwarves. Right? He sees a little dwarf, he takes aim, bang, kills the dwarf dead, right? He goes to court. The judge goes, why did you kill that dwarf? He goes, because I hate the little cunts. All right? The judge goes, you're a bigot. 20 years. Now, he shouldn't get more for shooting a dwarf. If anything, it's a harder shot. Isn't it? Like, if I was that judge, I'd go, what, you shot a dwarf at 100 metres, yeah? Fucking props, that is... 5 years. Because I was reading about the tough time dwarves have had through history. Like, in medieval times, they used to torture them and kill them. They used to put them in barrels with spikes and roll them down the hill for a laugh, right? And then in Victorian times, they'd stick them in the circus and make them do dangerous fucking things. And then as late as the 1980s, right, I remember colleges used to have events like dwarf throwing, where they were like darts on a thing, or dwarf bowling, and eventually someone said, what the fuck are we doing? Can we stop making dwarves do shit for our entertainment? And it stopped, and now it's back. Now they're in the Special Olympics. Now they've got, they're going, let's race them, and let's throw them in the water and see if they can swim. They can, so... It needs a bit of work, that one, doesn't it? I don't know. People don't realise how much goes into one of these tours. My last tour, I did 60 new material nights. Then I did like 25 work in progress shows. Then I did an 85-day arena tour around the world, honing it all the time. One critic sat at his kitchen table, said, lazy. He called me immature and vulgar. Four-eyed cunt. I'm at that age now where everything annoys me. Oh. Cultural appropriation. Have you heard of that? Cultural appropriation. The latest no-no. Now, again, in my day, it was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now it's racist. Gwen Stefani got in trouble in her last video because she had her blonde hair in dreadlocks. People go, no, black people invented dreadlocks, you can't have them, you're white, that's racist. Jamie Oliver got in trouble when he put out authentic jerk chicken recipe. People go, no, black people invented that, you can't have it, you're white, that's racist. Now, black people, they use the N-word, don't they? We invented that. That's the one, isn't it? That's the one. Listen, it's too late now, isn't it? What do you want for Christmas, Timmy? Motorised wheelchair. Right, well, they start at £2,000, so fucking hell. What do you want, Jack? Just a tennis racket, please, Dad. Oh, good lad. Oh. How is your tennis? Best in the school. Oh, you... Good. Also a ramp. Fuck me. So now we're doing fucking building work at Christmas, are we? Fuck me. Oh, sorry, Jack, can't afford your tennis racket. We've got to spend all the money on a ramp and a motorised wheelchair for this money-grabbing little fucking... Why do you need a motorised one? No arms. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. I can tell some of you feel a bit uncomfortable laughing at little Timmy, who's a little 6-year-old lad. He's got a funny little voice because his chest is all fucked. Got no arms, no legs, just like stumps, right? But let me tell you something about Timmy to make you feel better about yourselves. He's a fucking racist. Yes. Horrible little shit, he is. You little fucking bigot. You disgusting little fucking racist, you racist scum, you filthy little fucking, you fascist, you fucking, you disgust me. Homophobic? Yeah. He's like, they're not like us. Nothing's like you disgusting little fucking, you prejudiced little piece of, you ball of hate. You disgusting little fucking racist homophobe. I wish we'd had a scan. You absolute, But even though I don't have children of my own, people still show me photographs of theirs, like I give a shit. I don't mean my own family, they've given up, right? I've got older brothers and sisters, they've all had loads of kids, their kids have had loads of kids, and their kids are having kids. It's like a pyramid, there's about 50 of them. I don't know all their names, I see them at Christmas. They come running over, Uncle Ricky! They know I've got a bit of cash. And they go through my pockets and fuck off. It's like being mugged by mice, right? No, I don't mean now, I mean strangers, right? So I can be busy, I can be working, I can be on the set of a TV show or film or something. I can be stressed, I can be producing it or directing it. And you get someone who comes in for one day, like he's got one line or a stunt man. They come over, they introduce themselves, and I go, oh yeah, good to have you, I'll be with you in a minute. Then they hover, right? And they say, busy? I go, yeah, yes, yeah. I go, oh, you working the weekend? Not filming, but I'll be in the edit or something. So yeah, and I go, oh, taking my youngest to ballet lessons. Oh, great, great. Yeah, she's 8. No. I got a photograph of her here. I want to go, oh, you know what? Show me if she goes missing. I'll keep an eye open in the woods. You know what I mean?
But you've got to go through the whole polite rigmarole. You've got to go, oh, she's beautiful. Yeah. It's got to be that long. Too short and it's awkward. They know. You go, yeah, right. Oh. Too long and it's like, oh. She's fucking beautiful. It's a minefield, isn't it? I'm not out of touch, but I am spoiled. And there's a difference. I'm not out of touch. I didn't have any money till I was 40. I've got the same family and friends, same values. But I am spoiled because opportunity and privilege spoils you. And it doesn't take much, right? I'll give you an example. Right, first time I started making it in America, the next time we flew, we were met at the plane by a bloke in a suit and a thing, and he just walked us past the queue like that and straight out the other side, right? And the first time it happens, you're sort of horrified. You're going, oh, my God, everyone's looking at me and pretending to be late. Oh, God, a baseball cap. Oh, God. Next time we flew, I went, where's that bloke who walks us through? I'm not fucking queuing, right? It's quick, right? And whenever I fly to the States, I've got a place there, but I'm always working, right? So someone else is paying, right? So I go first class, BA. Oh, it doesn't get any better. Even if I was paying my own way, I'd still go first class, but Jane would probably be in coach, right? It's 10 grand a pop. She's, yeah, that new Planet of the Apes movie's on. She'd love that. She'd be happy, right? Right? But when someone else is paying, I say, Jane, get up here with me, right? Front 2 seats. Oh, they board us early. We're on the plane about 15 minutes before anyone else. It's, oh, my God. They bring around these snacks, these, like, warmed, caramelized nuts in a bowl, right? Champagne. It's great. It's like a little day off for me. No phone or anything. It's like a little holiday flying to the States, right? I could do without the safety video. That's always a bit of a downer, right? And totally pointless. If you go into the side of a mountain at 500 miles an hour, the brace position does fuck all. Imagine if that worked, right? You're going down, right? The flames smash, you go, I'll try it, right? You do that, ball of flames, you wake up, everyone's dead, except you go, fucking hell, that's amazing. That is... And they always use that voice, don't they, on the safety? They always use that voice, that calming, hypnotic voice. Like, nothing bad will happen. They're saying horrendous things, but they're trying to make you think nothing bad will happen because I'm using this voice, so don't worry about it, right? They say things like, in the event of the plane landing on water, it smashes the fuck to bits, right? They don't say that. They say, in the event of the plane landing on water, your life jacket is equipped with a whistle. A fucking whistle. So the plane hits the water, smashes to bits. Everyone's dead except you by a miracle. You're bobbing around in the Atlantic Ocean, 4 degrees that water is, right? You've got about 15 minutes before hypothermia sets in, right? Or eaten by a shark, or you drown, and you're hoping they've dispatched air sea rescue, and you're going, oh my God, I'm bruised, I'm broken, I'm gonna die, I don't want to die, what happened now? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I mean, air sea rescue. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a helicopter. Of course you haven't, right? But they're fucking loud, right? It's like having your head in a washing machine. You have to wear earplugs and then ear defenders. Your teeth rattle. It's like... like that. So you're over the Atlantic Ocean at night, you go... Never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. If you crash, you die, right? But apart from that, it's brilliant. Right, so I was flying Heathrow to JFK just before Christmas, right? Boarded us early on the plane. She comes round, oh, champagne in a wine glass, like you like it, Miss Gervais. I go, thank you. She goes off, I go, excuse me, got any of them warm nuts? She went, oh, we're not handing out nuts on this flight. There's a lady getting on who's so allergic that even someone else eating nuts in the vicinity would cause her to have a fatal reaction. I went, oh, my God. She went, yeah. I said, oh, of course, yeah. I was fuming. I mean,
What's that got to do with me? Why can't I eat nuts just because fucking this woman will die, right? Nuts. I mean, how has she lived this long? If walking by a nut kills you, if being just near a nut, how has she never been near a nut before? And how has she lived long enough, having never been near a nut, how has she lived long enough to earn enough money to be near me on a plane, right? Honestly, it's... And if being near a nut kills you, do we really want that in the gene pool? I mean, I've never wanted nuts more. I felt that she was infringing on my human right to eat nuts, right? And this is how spoiled I am, okay? I actually had this thought. I thought, oh, no, I wish I'd bought my own nuts on, right? And I thought that for about a second. I thought, oh, no, that wouldn't work, because she'd get on, right? She'd start going, oh, blowing up like a frog, right? And die, right? And then someone would go, Ricky Gervais brought his own nuts on, right? You know, right? So, of course, I don't take my own nuts on. What I do now, before I fly, I have a shower, and then I rub myself all over in nuts, just in case. Because then they go, oh, can I have any nuts? I go, oh, no, not nuts. A lady getting on, so allergic, she'd die. I go, yeah, not a problem, mate. Lady gets on, sits down, starts blowing up like a frog, going, right? I'm going, what's the matter? I'm touching her all over. I go, what's the matter? What's the matter, love? And she goes, oh, nuts, right? And dies, and I go, who's been eating nuts? I get off scot-free. So I got to America, I went on a chat show, right? The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, right? And I told that story, the whole thing, right? And went well, audience laughed, great, went out, fine. Next day on Twitter, outrage. And by outrage, I literally mean one person going, how dare you, right? This woman had seen that she was like, I saw you on Jimmy Fallon, it was disgusting, making fun of nut, and my daughter's nut intolerant, how dare you, children die. Oh my God, who's this one? And she's tweeted me about 15 times. She starts atting NBC and Jimmy Fallon. I'm going, why is she stirring up trouble? How many followers? 23, ignore it, don't worry about it. And you know when you're being told off and they use your own silly words against you, like a teacher going, what, you find so-and-so funny? And because the teacher's really angry, right? Yes, you do find that thing funny, whatever they... She said, would you find it funny if my daughter blew up like a frog? Yeah, because you saying that, yes. If you said that at the funeral, I would, yes, yeah. So, right, and then someone else gets involved, Ohio Mums Against Nuts, right? And she does a blog, right, and they're talking to each other, and she puts me in her blog about how disgusting I am, how many children die, and all this sort of stuff. One of them even filmed her little girl, right, and put it on YouTube and sent me the link, and I opened the link. It was a sweet little girl, about 7 years old, and she just went, Dear Miss Gervais, I have a fatal nut allergy. Delete. Not my problem, right? Ignore, right? But then one of them said something that reeled me in. Just because I'm this self-professed Twitter police, right? Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Didn't kill children. Jesus. It did kill children. Oh, my God, Hitler killed 12 million people, many of them children. Hitler, I've just got to say, Hitler, you couldn't make him up. He is the worst human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a crazy, evil, racist, narcissistic serial killer. Just terrible. But if I was throwing a dinner party and I'd been slaving all day over a hot stove, right? And I was getting everything ready, right? And there was one place left, and I had to either invite Hitler or that little girl with food allergies. I know who'd ruin that party more. You know what I mean? Everyone's enjoying it. How is everything? He's going, yeah, it's yummy, right? And I'm going, he's loving it. I'm going, cheers. Oh, you fuck. How you doing, boy, about that, right? She's going, I can't eat that. Oh, fucking hell, I'll get you some. Right? Who wants Ferrero Rocher? Me! Right? Yeah. I can't eat them. Oh, fuck off home, right? But that's what the world's like. People see something they don't like and they expect it to stop, as opposed to deal with their own emotions. They expect everyone to care about their thing as much as they do, right? And it's why the world's getting worse. And the world is getting worse. Don't get me wrong, I think I've lived for the best 50 years of humanity. 1965 to 2015, the peak of civilization, for everything, for tolerances, for freedoms, for communication, for medicine. And now it's going the other way a little bit. The last couple of years, just a little blip, maybe, right? And I'm not saying this just because I'm old, because that does happen. Old people say things like, oh, everything was better when I was a kid. Well, of course it was, you were a kid. Everything's better when you're a kid, right? Being old is the shit bit. Whatever's happening in the world, being old is the... I wake up these days and I go, oh, fuck, I didn't die. Right? Got to do it all again. I'm usually hungover, headache, liver pains. I can't walk for the first 5 minutes because I've got no joints in the knees, right? I'm getting fat again now, right? Now, I was thin till I was about 28, like proper skinny, like 9.5 stone, right? Then I got a job, right? And the next sort of 20 years were what I call my eating years, right? And I just got steadily fatter and fatter till I reached a peak of unwellness and blobbiness when I was about 48 years old. And it was one Christmas, I was at home, lying on the floor, right? And I was saying to Jane, I'm having a heart attack, right? And honestly, my heart rate was like 130. I felt nauseous. I had palpitations. I was sweating because I'd eaten 11 sausages. True story, right? I was like one of them snakes. You know when you see a big, like, python swallow a pig whole, and then it's just fucked. It's just like, it's for a week, it's like a duffel bag, just there. That was me, right? And obviously I wasn't having a heart attack, but it worried Jane. She said, you've got to start looking after yourself. I thought, yeah, you're right, 48. So I started working out, right? I started working out every single day. I didn't give anything up, right? I don't eat meat anymore, but I was having like 2,500 calories, 3,000 calories a day, including wine every night, right? But I burnt it off the next day. Just so I could do all that, I worked out for an hour and a half every day, running, weight training. I had more time on my hands than the average person. I had a gym built in my house. I had no excuse. And I lost about 20 pounds, and it was great. But now, I still eat and drink too much, right? But I physically can't burn off the calories. I can't do enough because I'm so old and broken and tired. So I'm going to get... Welcome to my new show, Humanity. I don't know why I called it that. I'm not a big fan. I prefer dogs, obviously. Dogs are better people than people, aren't they? They're amazing dogs. They're our best friends. They guard us. They guide us. There's medical detection dogs that can smell if you've got, like, AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but their noses are like 1,000 times more sensitive than ours. So they sort of go, poor, you're well HIV. Fuck, you know. And you go, you can smell AIDS on someone. Yeah. Yeah. Then why didn't you smell it on the bloke I brought home last night then, you fucking idiot? They did the first 3 billion years by themselves, evolution and all that. And then we got involved and we did a bit of selective breeding, you know, getting them how we wanted them to do jobs for us, you know, a bit more of that, a bit stronger, faster, whatever. And they're great at the jobs they're bred to do, and they love the job they're bred to do because they're genetically hardwired to love that behaviour anyway. Although the Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions, and I can't help but think that was a little bit of a shock to it when it found out. So we've done all the breeding, all the different pedigrees, all thousands, all the miles around, a big passing out parade. There's a bloke in a square with a white coat and a clipboard, and he goes, right, dogs. And they all go, what? Who wants to know what jobs they've got? We all do, right?
Okay. Labradors. Yeah. Do you like carefully bringing back dead ducks? Yeah. That's your job. Amazing. That is amazing. That is my favourite job. That is my favourite job. Jack Russells. Yeah. Do you like shooting down rabbit holes after... Yeah. That's your job. Fucking hell. Best day ever. Best day ever. Miniature poodles. Yeah. Do you like being carried around by elderly homosexuals? Yeah. That's your job. That's your job. Ridgebacks. Yo. You're hunting lions. What? You're hunting lions. Fuck off. Yeah, you are. No, we're not. Lions? We get fucking mashed. Why can't the Rottweilers hunt lions? They're shaking babies. Good boy. Good boy. You shake that baby if you want. Good boy. Cheers. So yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh, God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world. And it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, I was offended. Oh. Why? He said an horrible thing. We said loads of horrible things. Yeah, but that was a thing that I care about. And that's the thing about offence, isn't it? It's about feelings, and feelings are personal. I don't care about the so-called backlash, you know, comedian in hot water. Ooh, you know. But my girlfriend Jane, she does worry a bit, and she reads things. Oh, why are they? What have you said? Why? I go, don't worry about it. They're not coming to the house. Fuck them. So I wind her up. I pretend I'm going to say much worse things than I ever would. You know. Think of that. I have to make up worse jokes than I actually... just to scare my girlfriend. So when I'm doing the Golden Globes, we go out about a week before. It's in LA. We fly out, right? And I'm writing jokes as the ceremony approaches. And, you know, they release sort of more presenters. And I take my pick. I go, oh, yeah, I've got a good intro for them. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah. Mel Gibson. Yeah, I'll introduce him. Yes. And about 3 days before this last one, right, just to wind Jane up, I said, oh, I've got a good intro. She went, what? I said, Bill Cosby would make our next presenter sleep on the couch. Please welcome Helen Mirren. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. She went, you're not going to do it? I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Next day, I got her again. I said, is this too much then? I said, not even Bill Cosby carries enough tranquilizer to bring down this next magnificent beast. Please welcome Melissa McCarthy. I didn't do it. I'd never tell a joke like that. It's horrible. I was just doing it to annoy Jane. I'd never even think of that. So don't... Even on the day, on the way to the red carpet, or in the limo, just to wind her up, I said, oh, I'm going to start off with a funny little one-liner, just an old-fashioned joke. She went, oh, what? I said, what did the deaf, dumb and blind orphan get for Christmas? And Jane went, I don't know. I said, cancer. I didn't do it. So you're getting offended at a joke that doesn't exist. So I'd never say that in public. So to anyone who mattered. Anyway, so don't... As it was, I didn't have to worry about offending anyone, because it just happens, so... And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They come on, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had. Became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, right? So that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, okay? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. Bring it on. Bring it on. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon, it was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge, I don't know, but I mean, I'm guessing he's a big, but I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago, when, you know, she was a man. That was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what so, like, come in, and he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago, and the doctor went, oh, hi, Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old lump. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right? I said, what can I do for you, Bruce? You fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And they went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason. I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker, you know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know.
And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting bottle, that's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name, because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no, this is my second crime. I say, she hasn't changed, right? She's always been a woman, because she's always identified as a woman, and that means she's a woman. Fine, if that's the rules, you are what you feel. If you feel you're a woman, that makes you a woman. Cool. You know, I'm not one of these bigots that think having all that done is science going too far. You know? In fact, I don't think it's going far enough. Because I've always identified as a chimp, right? Well, I am a chimp. If I say I'm a chimp, I am a chimp, you know. Pre-op, but... and don't ever dead name me. Don't ever call me Ricky Gervais again. From now on, you call me Bobo. So... I'm going to have species realignment. I'm halfway there, to be honest. I'm sort of short with short legs and long arms. I sort of stoop like that. My back's getting hairier by the day. I've got fangs. I love nuts. Oh, I love nuts. And once, I was at the zoo, and I could tell people were looking at me, so I just started masturbating. So, I am a chimp, right? I am a chimp, if I say I'm a chimp. And so I've got to live as a chimp for a year, then have hormones, get me all nice and hairy. That'd be lovely, right? I'm going to stay a male chimp, so I can keep all that, right? A male heterosexual chimp, keep the same girlfriend. Jane will be happy. She loves me. She loves chimps, so, you know. And I reckon that's got to be easier for a man to turn into a chimp. We're so close. Than for a man to turn into a woman in many ways. You know what I mean? A bit of hair and a top lip like that, as opposed to your cock and balls ripped off and a hole gouged out into... No, I'm not a doctor, but that is the gist of it. I know which one I'd rather have done. And I'm not saying I think chimps are better than women. No way. Right? Any ladies here, right? I can't see you, but to me, every single one of you is equal to a chimp. So I'm gonna have all that done. So hair with that, right? I'll do all that. I'll do all the that. I'll retain the ability to speak English, like in emergencies. If I'm talking to Jane, I'm going, just going, what is it? Going, He nearly got cancelled, didn't he? Liam Neeson. Now, I don't know why he told this story, but he did. At a press junket to a journalist, right? And it was where he just started saying, it was 30 years ago, he said, and my friend came home and she'd been raped, right? And that's not the funny bit. He said, she'd been raped. I said, what did the guy look like? He said he was a black guy. He said, so I got my cosh and I went out looking for the first black guy. He said, nothing happened. I came to my senses, right? But the weird thing about that story is, who has a cosh? Who is it? But it was touch and go. They cancelled the premiere that night because of the backlash and that people wanted the film to be deleted. And I get it. Some people can't separate the art form with the artist's personal life. Now, I know Liam. I've worked with him. He's a lovely man. He's definitely not racist. But when that broke, even I was like, oh, will I ever be able to find Schindler's List funny again? You know, I do still find it funny, obviously. And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... it's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They come on, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner, obviously. And I go, now Caitlyn Jenner, of course, and what a year she's had, became a role model for trans people everywhere, bravely breaking down barriers and destroying stereotypes. She didn't do a lot for women drivers, right? So, that's a clever joke, and I'll tell you why, right? It's layered. No, listen, right? The subject of that joke is stereotypes. I'm playing with the notion of stereotypes, right? So I start off saying she's a real woman. Some would say a liberal, progressive attitude. Then I go, oh, if she's a real woman, I hit them with the old-fashioned reactionary stereotype. She must be a bad driver then, right? And the target of the joke is a celebrity killing someone in their car. Let's not forget that, shall we? A celebrity killing someone in their car, running home and popping on a dress. That's the target of the joke, just so we're clear, OK? She was interviewed about a week later at some press conference for a show she was launching, now cancelled. And the press were around and one of them said, what do you think of the Ricky Gervais joke? And she went, maybe I should host the Golden Globes, right? And they tweeted that, and they atted me in, because they want a celebrity feud, you know? It was clickbait, so I rose to the bait, obviously. I just sent back, let her host, just don't let her drive. Another website that was in the room, Entertainment Weekly, they tweeted a different headline, and they atted me in as well. And their headline was, Caitlyn finally breaks silence over Ricky Gervais. I just sent back, at last. She always breaks too late. But I'm a considered comedian. I like my jokes to be accurate and my targets to be fair. So I was engaging these people. I was saying, why is it transphobic? And they were saying, it's about a trans person. I said, well, that's ridiculous. That's like saying a joke about Bill Cosby is automatically racist. It depends on the joke. But I was talking to them, I'm willing to learn, and I found out my crime was that I dead-named her. Now, I'd never heard that term, you know, before a day after the Golden Globes, and that was saying her old name, and even acknowledging that she used to be a man. But she did. I saw him on the Olympic Games. It was decathlon. It was in everything. He was all over the place. Shot put and pole vault. He won a medal. He was famous. He was on telly all the time. But, you know, a big, famous man with a huge... I don't know, but, I mean, I'm guessing he's a big... But I've learned my lesson. Now, I'd never dead name her now. Now I know it's wrong. I'd never dead name her now. But, like, years ago... when, you know, she was a man. No, it was years ago, I'm saying, right? And she went to the doctor, right? And knocked on the door, and the doctor went, come in. This is years ago. I was saying, I'd never dead name her now, but this is like a flashback before anyone... Do you know what so, like, come in. And he went, hello, Bruce Jenner, because that was his name then. The doctor, you know, this was years ago. And the doctor went, oh, I'm Bruce Jenner, you big old... How you doing, boy, you fucker? How you doing? You big old blunt. Oh, how you doing, boy? Come here, you fucker. How you doing, Brucey boy? You all right? Right? And Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, this is years ago, right? So Bruce Jenner went, yeah, not too bad, doctor, yeah. Not too bad, right?
And I thought, what can I do for you, Bruce? Yeah, fucker. How you doing, boy? And Bruce Jenner went, because that was his name. Bruce Jenner went, look at that. And I went, oh, come on, Bruce Jenner, you know the rules. He uses his whole name every time for some reason. I don't know why. Come on, Bruce Jenner, you fucker. You know the rules. You can't bring your big old pole vaulting pole in here, mate, you know. And Bruce Jenner went, no, that's not my pole vaulting pole. That's my enormous penis. And I thought, oh, right, yeah, seeing as it is your penis, you can bring it in here. But you should have left your shot puts outside. And Bruce Jenner went, that was his name for 58 years, I think. He went, no, they're not my shot puts, they're my enormous testicles. That's where I keep my testosterone and my spunk and shit, right? And the doctor went, oh, yeah, that makes perfect. I'm a medical man, and that you're a big bloke. Oh, you fucker. How you doing, boy? You're a big... You're big, and you would have a big old cock and balls. They're beautiful. They're a bit familiar, isn't it? And I go, no, but you must be very proud of them, Bruce. Bruce Jenner went, oh, this is going to surprise you, doctor. I want to get rid of them. And the doctor went, what? Why? Ah, they get in the way. Get in the way of what? Fucking driving, for one thing. So I'm engaging these people, and I'm saying, but I had to say her old name, because that gets me into the joke. I say, I've changed, not as much as Bruce Jenner, and then I do the actual joke. I went, no, this is my second crime. Can't mention him anymore. He's cancelled. Not enough to apologise and move on. You've got to... Like poor Kevin Hart. See, Kevin Hart, he got the job hosting the Oscars. It was his best day ever. He was on Twitter going, oh, I've wanted to do this all my life, right? And then someone found these 10-year-old tweets, right? That they were sort of childish, sort of shitty, homophobic tweets. It was about his son. He was mucking around. He said, oh, my son's doing so-and-so. I hope he's not gay. There was a massive backlash. He went, oh, sorry, I'm not homophobic, really sorry. He deleted them, right, and said, I'm really sorry. 10 years later, someone finds a screen grab and goes, look, he's done this. Oh, big... The Oscars go, oh, you've got to apologise again. He went, no, I've apologised. I can't keep apologising. And he's right. If there's no value to saying sorry and evolving, he might as well just tweet him again. Right? That's how I deal with shit, anyway. But if you're the type of person to revel in someone getting cancelled for something they said 10 years ago, you're just ensuring that one day you'll be cancelled for something you said today. You can't predict what will be offensive in the future. You don't know who the dominant mob will be. You know, like, the worst thing you can say today, get you cancelled on Twitter, death threats, whatever, the worst thing you can say today is, women don't have penises, right? Now, no one saw that coming. There are no 10-year-old tweets of people saying... You won't find a 10-year-old tweet of someone saying women don't... But that tweet sums comedy up, doesn't it? How subjective it is. How one person... Some people can find them hilarious, some people find them the least funny person in the world. And when someone says to me about another comedian, they say, oh, they're not funny. Even if I agree with them, I stand up and I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know? And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I gotta say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy, and comedy evolves, you know. There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. We hear about it, and it's taken seriously, you know. There's Oxbridge comedians writing for the posh papers, telling you the rules of comedy. They're laying it down, laying down the law, right? And it's all stuff like, comedy should punch up. You should never punch down. You should never punch down. Sometimes you've got to punch down, like if you're beating up a disabled toddler. You know what I mean? If you punch up, you'll miss the little cunt, and he'll win, you know. I like that joke because it highlights the difference between metaphorical punching down in jokes and actual punching down. But people nowadays want you to believe that words are actual violence, right? Now, you laughed at a joke
about beating up a disabled toddler. No one got hurt. If I'd have actually dragged out a disabled toddler and started beating him up, you wouldn't laugh, right? That's why I dropped that bit. But these people are virtue signalling. They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, they're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour, which is so patronising. Just because I'm this self-professed Twitter police, right? Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Didn't kill children. Jesus. It did kill children. Oh my God, Hitler killed 12 million people, many of them children. Hitler, I've just got to say, Hitler, you couldn't make him up. He is the worst human being to ever walk the face of the earth. He's a crazy, evil, racist, narcissistic serial killer. Just terrible. But over a hot stove, right? And I was getting everything ready, right? And there was one place left, and I had to either invite Hitler or that little girl with food allergies. I know who'd ruin that party more. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's enjoying it. How is everything? He's going, yeah, it's yummy, right? And I'm going, he's loving it. I'm going, cheers. Oh, you fuck. How you doing, boy, about that, right? She's going, I can't eat that. Oh, fucking hell, I'll get this time. Who wants Ferrero Rocher? Me! Right? I can't eat them. Oh, fuck off home, right? But that's what the world's like. People see something they don't like and they expect it to stop, as opposed to deal with their own emotions. They expect everyone to care about their thing as much as they do, right? And it's why the world's getting worse. And the world is getting worse. Don't get me wrong, I think I've lived for the best 50 years of humanity. 1965 to 2015, the peak of civilization, for everything, for tolerances, for freedoms, for communication, for medicine. And now it's going the other way a little bit. The last couple of years, just a little blip, maybe, right? And I'm not saying this just because I'm old, because that does happen. Old people say things like, oh, everything was better when I was a kid. Well, of course it was, you were a kid. So, yeah, this is my first new stand-up show for 7 years, if you don't count the Golden Globes. Which you shouldn't. The Golden Globes, very different. Oh, God, different vibe. 200 million people watching around the world. And it's live, you know, big thrill. But with that many people watching, there comes a bit of stick. Everyone's different. Everyone's a blogger. Everyone goes, I was offended.